The federal government says a US review into the AUKUS security pact is ongoing. There's been speculation about the status of the review after an overseas report emerged that the Pentagon had reached a conclusion and the deal was safe. Acting Defence Correspondent Olivia Casely joins me now from Parliament House in Canberra. Olivia, what do we know?
Questions were certainly swirling this morning about the status of this long-awaited review by Washington into the future of the $368 billion AUKUS submarine pact. So, as you say, those reports emerged in Nikkei Asia, and it certainly suggested that that review was concluded, that the Pentagon was giving it the green light, and that the Trump administration would stick to the original schedule when it comes to Pillar 1 of AUKUS. And that includes the sale of 3 Virginia-class submarines to Australia by 2032. We'll remember, just to refresh viewers' memories, that the Trump administration did instigate this review at the beginning of this year, and it did cause some concern, especially in Canberra and London, over the future of the pact more generally. We have seen a response now from the US Department of War, which suggests that ultimately this review, it's still very much got the amber light, not yet given the green light just yet, as you'll see in this statement here. It says the AUKUS initiative is still under review. We have no further AUKUS updates to announce at this time. I've got to say, both privately and publicly speaking with government sources, they are really confident about the future of the AUKUS pact, even though this review is obviously underway. And ultimately, they are also pretty satisfied that the United States over the next couple of years will be able to, rapidly ramp up its submarine manufacturing capacity so that we do get those promised subs on time. There's also, hope that this review will be finalised by the time that Anthony Albanese heads to Washington for his long-awaited and much-anticipated meeting with US President Donald Trump on October 20th. So that will be their first meeting. We did hear from the Acting Prime Minister, Richard Marles, on ABC Melbourne Radio this morning, and he gave this insight on the future of the review.
I mean, the review is still ongoing, obviously, and we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. I mean, I'm aware of the reports that you're referring to, but we've been engaging very well in the review. Actually, the US has been very good in terms of giving us an indication of the process and allowing us to participate in it. But from the outset, we've been really clear about welcoming this review. AUKUS is happening. That's not in question.
Meanwhile, Olivia, the Australian agency responsible for delivering AUKUS has racked up a big bill on consultants.
Yeah, it certainly has. I trawled through AusTender documents and discovered a consulting contract for Boston Consulting, and essentially it was originally tasked with conducting an independent review into the Australian Submarine Agency, which is the new agency established just a couple of years ago to essentially oversee, the rollout of the AUKUS nuclear submarine pact here in Australia. But from the beginning, this organisation was beset with some allegations of internal governance issues, cultural issues, and so the government did instigate a number of reviews. So there was one conducted by Dennis Richardson, a former top bureaucrat, and also there were these separate private contracts, if you like, that went out to agencies such as Boston Consulting. Now, originally it was just meant to last a couple of months and cost $2.7 million, but it has blown out substantially, costing almost 5 times as much as that, and $12.1 million. So it's certainly raising questions about the cost blowouts generally associated with the AUKUS submarine pact in general. I did go to the Australian Submarine Agency for comment, and they said this review was really important, all this consulting work. It was all about ensuring that the agency's operations are fit for purpose AUKUS, and they also provided some insight into how things are tracking on their end. So they said Australia is on track to seeing the establishment of Submarine Rotational Force West in 2027, when US nuclear submarines will begin rotating out of HMAS Sterling. So that is in Western Australia. I did go to the Shadow Defence Minister Angus Taylor for comment, and he says that it does raise alarm bells for him that this early on into this agency's life, that it is having these reports or these allegations of internal cultural issues.